So the pet humanization global megatrend is a structural and accelerating trend whereby we're increasingly treating pets like humans rather than animals. Many surveys have been done with pet owners that actually consistently shows that over 90% of them actually treat pets as an important part of the family. The market is already very large, about $131 billion in size. It's been growing consistently at about 5% per annum over the past 20 years. And we're now observing, because we've seen the increased pet adoption, we're now actually seeing an acceleration in the growth rate, probably to around 7% over the next 5 to 10 years. So COVID-19 has been very similar to what happened during the two previous recessions, which was in 2001 and 2008. In both of those periods, we had growth rates of 5 to 7%. And during COVID, we actually had a slightly faster growth rate. In fact, the growth rate of last year has been 10%. And in fact, there were certain months where it was actually increasing at 20%. The reason why it has accelerated during COVID is because based on surveys done by National Geographic with pet owners, what they observed was that 87% of them actually said that it actually made them emotionally feel much more positive, and 72% of them actually said that they would actually were exercising more often by having a pet. So there were two of the key drivers behind what we are now seeing as a much faster growing environment in the pet humanization megatrend. So there are a number of drivers behind the increased expenditure. The first one is very fundamental, and what that is the human's desire for connection and nurturing. So what we do is we produce oxytocin in our body. That's our good feel hormone. And what pets do is they actually unleash a huge amount of oxytocin, and you can see why that would have been particularly important during this COVID period. The other factors include the fact that we've got a lot more single households around the world. For example, in the US, that's doubled, and that's pretty similar in other parts of the world. We've obviously got the increasing middle class, where obviously their consumption capacity is increasing. So in places like China, and China and South Korea. So South Korea, for example, where we've seen a doubling in the rate of animal pet adoption. But what really gives us confidence about the future sustainable growth rates is the Gen Zers. They're basically anyone who's under the age of 24, and they're going to be the largest cohort within the next 10 years. And again, all the surveys and data actually shows that they're the ones who are going to spend the most amount of money on pet expenditure in the coming years. Identifying a mega trend and knowing when to invest in it in terms of timing are obviously important, but there's obviously another aspect that needs to also be identified, and which is the right company that's highly profitable, that's going to compound in value as a result of the mega trend. So IDEX is the company that we've identified. We believe it's the structural winner as a result of this mega trend, intensely profitable and highly innovative. IDEX basically provides vets with all the equipment to keep our furry friends happy and healthy. They provide all the diagnostic equipment and the testing kits that go with it. They do all the processing once the tests have been completed, and they provide the software to analyze the data. So companies like IDEX, and we also have another company, so we have two companies in the portfolio that we think are significant beneficiaries, highly innovative, highly profitable companies from the pet humanization global megatrend.